Chapter 1. I blinked awake. The remains of the dream seeped out of my consciousness. Too bad. It was a good one. The best kind. A memory. Better than that. A happy memory. I always seemed to wake up in the middle of those. My nightmares hung around to stay, and they never let me go. A figure moved in the dark. You're who woke me up. They hovered over the bed. My vision cleared on the pillow clutched in their hands. I know you're awake, said a dry voice. Move over. Other side, I said. I'm all sliced up on this one. Talk about an exit strategy. Gianna moved around the bed and climbed in next to me. She plopped her pillow down, then snuggled on mine. How are you, babe? Fine. Naturally, I didn't do too much damage. How'd you get in? She scoffed. Like I can't sneak into a hospital. How did you get here, is the question. I'm surprised they brought you here. North Key General Hospital, to be exact. St. John rushed me in, sans mask and knit cap. The trail of blood I left from the puddle in his truck to the front desk was enough to alarm anyone. It certainly freaked out the people we blew by. It looked bad, but a few stitches and one night in the hospital fixed me up. I'd be out in the morning. They had to, I said. They took out the guys in the station. All of them. There was no one left to tell us if Angelo spread their location to every king, and if more were on their way. The guys left me in the tender care of the North Key General Doctors, so they could strip, scrub, and wipe every trace of our presence from the place. Then it's just you and me. She kissed my cheek. I'll stay until your knights in shining armor come for you. We laughed. It hurt my side, so I stopped. Thanks for the assist, by the way. My smile stretched in the dark. Got a bit dicey there in the middle. I felt her shake her head. I'm so fired. I literally ran out in the middle of my shift, left the Hendersons gaping at my smoke outline in the middle of checking them in. But if my girl needs a sniper, she needs a sniper. Thankfully, I've got the best one in Cinco City on speed dial. Don't know if I'm the best, she breezed. Top 5 for sure. We laughed again and I cut myself off, wincing. Seriously, G, thank you. I thought they were dead. Gianna sobered too. And that would have bothered you, she said softly. Yes. She was quiet for a moment. I said you were getting too close. As close as it gets. You should have seen me packing up my car to leave. I was a fucking wreck. Completely embarrassing. You love St. John. He has no idea how meant for each other we really are. What about the others? They're all mine now, G. Whether they know it or not. Does this change the plan? Only slightly. I've taken out the part where I kill them, seize control of the merchants, and set them on hunting down Kieran and the Ledger. The words dropped from my lips without a twinge of conscience. The boys will find Kieran for me, and then I'll help myself to the Ledger. There might be a bit of an argument about it, but in the end, people always see things my way. Especially when their cocks are wrapped around your finger. That does make it easier, yes. I bit back the laugh on that one. It contracted my stomach all the same, reminding me of Brutal's fingers skating the edges of my bandage. Light, warm, perfect, and tightening my skin. Yes, I got too close. I even told Brutal about Mom, I whispered. Everything. I don't know why. I do. Gianna pressed us cheek to cheek. All that stuff with Corbin and the kids, it was too much for you, Addie. To walk into something like that after everything you've been through. I'm sorry I wasn't there. We should have done this together. I squeezed her hand. You couldn't be there, G. You're a better actor than I am, but even through rescuing the kids, I had to play like I was this wide-eyed, innocent creature being swept along. Seeing both of us kick ass would have made them question. I don't care, she said. It's been weeks of phone calls where we hide what we're really talking about, while you were left to do it all by yourself. The Kings got you, Addie. They assaulted and tried to take you. It wouldn't have gotten that far if I'd been there. I could have acted sooner. I picked up the remote and raised the head of the bed. The lights followed. My white, clinical space lit up. There wasn't much to see in the room besides the bed, roll-away tray, television, and the sink next to the bathroom door. Its biggest draw was that it was private. We could speak freely. Things had to play out a certain way, G. What matters is they trust me. And we've dealt the first serious blow to the Kings in decades. There's a power vacuum. They'll be rushing and fighting over Angelo's replacement. The cops are hunting them down as child traffickers. They watched a good chunk of their hideaways burn to the ground. While they're scrambling, it's time to strike blow number 2. Gianna gave me a look. I like how you avoided the conversation by steering back to the Kings. I like how you noticed, I mumbled. Addie, are you okay? I get you need to keep your cover, but a few days away from this won't hurt. It might do some good, actually. Stay with me, she said, popping a kiss on my cheek. Just for a while to get your head on straight. We need to rework the plan anyway. It went way off track since you got trapped in that bathroom. That much was true. Yes, I was interested in the merchants. Yes, I wanted a gang to lend its power, knowledge, and firepower in the search for Kieran. Yes, I wasn't willing to start off at the bottom, playing everybody's bitch until I worked my way up to right hand. All of those things were true. But still, I never could have planned for Sinjin, Brutal, Mercer, and Cash. I am okay, G. I said it and meant it. You're right. I was blindsided. I walked into that auction thinking it was a simple job and ended up in my personal nightmare. I ended up in many children's nightmares. But we saved them, Gianna. And we got the Kings out of the trafficking business for good. I'm all right now. I can breathe. You're still staying with me. Keep that no on your tongue. If you don't care about alleviating my worries, then at least do something about my uncertainty. I'm done with this calling when you can, speaking in code thing. We need to properly plan our next move now that the Kings have taken that hit. You said it yourself. I do care about your worries, I said. What about Raoul? He's got friends. They've got couches. I doubt Sinjin will be cool with it. Sinjin doesn't have a fortified fire station to trap you inside anymore. While he's rectifying that, you need somewhere to recover. Are you out of excuses now? I cracked a smile. Yes, I am. Cash.
We'll set up in Leebridge. 20-something, shouting, hands waving. The Leebridge place has 1 bedroom and 1 way in and out, Mercer said, driving 10 to 11 miles over the speed limit. We can't stay there long term, Mercer said. We weren't meant to. Smack stash, eyes mirror, right rear view light.
I hit the brakes, sliding out of the way as a blubbering Gen Xer dove into our lane without checking her blind spot. She continued her fight in earnest, arms flailing clear through the window, unaware her day would have gotten 10 times worse if she succeeded in sideswiping my car.
We're not,
I said, changing lanes for the express to the hospital.
I started negotiations on a new place in Waterford when we took up this fight against the Kings. I assumed they'd locate the fire station sooner or later. Waterford? The 7th Street Gang and Bowery Boys claimed Waterford. Now, the merchants have too. What's this place like?
Sinjin asked. He stretched out long in the passenger seat, absent-mindedly fingering his knife hilt.
How soon can we get in? End of this week or next. It's 3 floors, 6 bedrooms, a basement with 2 exits. The bottom floor was a sandwich shop. We'll buy the building. Can we afford an entire building in Waterford? Mercer added. It's been a while since we've done a job. I moved a few things around, I said simply. Sold some assets. But yes, we're low. Between renovations on the new place, Redgrave's hospital stay, and the $8,000 a month Sinjin agreed to pay her, we'll be hard up sooner rather than later. Bunny offers a valuable service, Sinjin said, grinning. Riding your dick? Now, she's long past proven her worth. Bunny keeps Brutal happy. We eat like kings instead of refugees now. She planned the attack on the Castian, and do I have to remind you, the person who actually took out our most dangerous enemy was her? No.
My grip tightened on the wheel, recalling the scene we walked into. Adeline on the floor, clutching her bleeding stomach. Angelo slumped against the cage with a knife in his neck. The look of surprise on his face.
You don't. She'll have the salary we agreed to, St. John went on. It's not much less than the cut we take for ourselves, and she's one of us. It's more than our cut, I said. We're running on less than nothing until we refill the bank, St. John. Why are we buying a place we have to renovate? Mercer asked. We'd save ourselves money right there if we found ourselves another fixed-up station and stayed in North Key.
I shook my head.
We have to assume our address went wide. Once the Kings find out Angelo is dead, they'll comb North Key, hunting us down. That borough was burned. As for the place, one of those basement exits is a tunnel that opens out to the storage room in the grocery store across the street. It's not on any plans. If something like this happens again, we won't be trapped. If it's not on any plans, how did you find out about it? I have my sources. Sources that won't crack? St. John asked.
I nodded.
Good enough for me. What do we need to do to this place? Got the downstairs. It's all windows. Those will need to be covered up. The windows in our last place saved our asses, Mercer said. We going to talk about that at any point? Someone took out Angelo and held his men back. Who?
I looked to St. John, and he was looking at me.
Wasn't me, I confirmed. My contingencies did not include Corbin breaking his own thumb, getting free, and bringing Angelo down on us, while his only bargaining chip was alone in the house. There was no time for me to set one of the guys on the opposite roof. I don't know who that was. Who could it have been? St. John mused, mostly to himself. I didn't call in the reinforcements either. The only people who knew we were there were the Kings. It's possible one of them took their shot. If Angelo was killed in the middle of taking us out, the merchants are blamed and his successor rises to the top, promising vengeance. It's genius. Only one flaw in that logic, Mercer said. Why didn't this turncoat king wait until we were dead to take Angelo out of play? The king's enemies and the man in his way in one fell swoop. He would have had it if he waited 10 seconds.
We fell silent as brutal still and calm in the back seat, not offering a word of his thoughts.
Taking us out may not be the end game, St. John said. Angelo wanted us in the Kings. Angelo 2.0 could want the same. Speaking of, who was next in line?
Names, dates, faces, and rap sheets filed through my mind one after the other.
Angelo had no children, nor did he groom anyone in particular, I said. He likely feared filling some bloodthirsty junior's head with visions of power would result in a knife in his back when they got impatient. Without a named successor, we're down to 4 guys with enough clout in the gang to get the men to follow them. They are also the ones who wanted enough to kill the other 3. Jace Parker, Xavier Jameson, Thiago Pais, Lorenzo Enzo Bianchi. What do we got on them? Parker was Angelo's man on the fights. He coordinated them, found the men, took the bets, and personally visited those who didn't pay up. Former fighter himself, I said. He doesn't farm out his beatings.
St. John inclined his head.
I respect that. Tell me about Jameson. Jameson is the smart pick. But like I said, this won't be a democracy. He's cool, level-headed, intelligent. Rich parents were able to afford his ride to the academic top. He has a JSD from Cinco Law School and a legit business front as an attorney. His only clients are the Kings. Rich boy lawyer who can walk away from the life at any time. Probably has a penthouse in Leabridge with a perfect wife and 2.5 kids that he'll choose above the gang if shit goes sour. St. John shook his head. No, it won't be him. Or at least it won't just be him. If Jameson takes over, he'll farm the everyday dealings to the second in command, who'll ultimately take the fall if things go wrong.
I nodded, accepting his reasoning. I knew the numbers, stats, data, and probability. Sinjin knew the depths of a despicable mind.
Thiago, he prompted. Thiago runs the escorts, I continued. Mercer probably knows more about him than I do. I don't doubt your research, Mercer said. But in this case, I have personal knowledge on the guy. Client? Colleague. Thiago used to be an escort. He saved up enough money to buy a strip club, then started his own business in Harlow. He got away with it because he worked out a deal with Angelo. Eventually, he took over the king's hand in that enterprise, Mercer said. He's respected for the most part. He was in the business, so he knows what we deal with. He used to run the auction, and he made sure everyone who signed up was clean, willing, and discreet. The 70-30 split in favor of the escorts was his idea. Then Corbin took over that part of the business.
The statement hung in the air for a beat.
Do we believe he didn't know what Corbin was up to? Sinjin asked. He's put a lot of effort into building up the auction. Would he have washed his hands and let Corbin disappear his work into a grotty basement? I want to say yes, Mercer said carefully. 70% for the escorts made the auction the least profitable of the businesses. If he was taking on too much, I can see him passing it on to Corbin without a fight. As for if he knew, I told you I have personal experience with the guy. We crossed paths at more than a few parties. Talked, traded stories. Thiago's disgust when he spoke about pimps turning out girls as young as 16 was real. I don't think he knew. Or he did know and he walked himself and his escorts away because he wanted no part in it, Sinjin shot back. Bunny said it's a different crowd catering to the deceased Corbin's new clients. It's just as possible he was disapproving, but happy to look the other way. It's possible, Mercer agreed. The guy is no Boy Scout, or he wouldn't be willing to kill his own brothers to elbow into Angelo's spot. What else do I need to know? Because he is generous with his escorts, he takes it as a personal affront when they let him down, Mercer said. Coming up short, taking jobs on the side, trying to get out of the life. If they're caught, Thiago makes examples of them.
I caught Sinjin's frown out of the corner of my eye.
Is he the guy who... Yes.
No more needed to be said. I said it anyway.
He disfigures people who crosses him, slices up their faces and dumps them on the docks. If they stumble their way to a hospital in time, they're one of the lucky ones. Sinjin whistled. I can see a cold bastard like that making a play for number one. Lorenzo Bianchi, I've met. We've stood across the craps table once or twice. Cagey player. Doesn't bet too much. Doesn't lose too much. Doesn't give much away. He's a man who knows when to walk away from the table. I've always hated guys like that. He's the king's cash, Mercer said. That explains it. He's the money guy, I corrected. He handles what comes in and what goes out. Enzo structured the business to operate through so many shell companies and offshore accounts, I can't track all the money down. If a new player enters the scene looking to make a deal with the Kings, Enzo negotiates the terms. They're all strong contenders, but it will be Enzo, I said. 69% probability. Why?
I turned into the hospital parking lot.
Because the others have the clout, fear, power, and respect. Enzo has the money. He'll pay off their right hands to sink a knife in their backs while they're in the middle of getting dressed for Angelo's funeral. I assume you're thinking of a plan to take each one of them out as we speak, Sinjin said. I am. Is that where we're going with this? Mercer asked. Killing all four before one assumes the mantle? I can easily get to Thiago.
We climbed out, falling in step and cutting a path through sneaking glances.
No, I said. Too many variables unaccounted for. Corbin ran loose through our fucking house for hours, calling whoever he wanted. We don't know who else he talked to or what he told them about us. You could set a trap for Thiago that turns into a trap for you. So we lie low? We change the plan, I said. Wait until we know as much, and then more than they do. I will say we're not letting an opportunity pass. I wouldn't have suggested killing the four. It won't do any good. The Kings have dozens of guys ready and willing to take their place. There are 3 steps to taking down an empire, St. John said. Drain their funds, shake their followers' loyalty, and cut off the head. We've cut off the head and kicked off a surge of infighting that will hold their attention. On to the next. We strode past the nurse's desk, ignoring the woman who called out to us. But first, Sinjin jabbed the button for the elevator. My bunny. His bunny was not alone. Gianna Soren Cross, born August 15th, works the front desk of Harmony Hotel, grew up in Waterford, currently lives in Rockchapel with boyfriend Raul Perez. Redgrave's best and only friend strode around the room cleaning up and setting out a change of clothes. Comparing the tight, thigh-length leopard dress she wore with the skin-clinging cutout dress she laid on the bed, I assumed she was dressing Redgrave in her own clothes. Adeline Redgrave, daughter of Oscar Redgrave, born January 5th, 23 years old, hospitality management major, on-the-job trained chef, younger than the average sous chef, dedicated, determined, single-minded, likely history of abuse, 2 known weaknesses, Gianna Cross and Oscar Redgrave.
Hi, boys.
She gave us a wan smile.
I'm so glad to see you. You brought me here without a phone. I've been worried sick. Pulling off her sheet, I drew Adeline's hospital gown over her waist. That's one way to say hi. I peeled away the bandage, examining the cut and neat row of stitches above her hip. Her doctor did good work. This would heal with the faintest scar, but then it wasn't very deep. I met those big, blinking brown eyes.
Tell me again how this happened.
What? What do you mean? I waited her out. Angelo was hiding in the basement, she said. He pulled a knife, we struggled, and he slashed me. I got it away from him and…
You struggled.
More like he threw me against the cage and jumped on me. She shuddered. It was horrible. He was saying these awful things, and all I could think was the room was soundproof. I could scream, and you wouldn't come. I hovered over the line of her cut, calculating the slash angle. This woman jumped off a 2-story balcony into a bramble bush. She ran away torn up and bleeding from a band of armed thugs shooting to kill, and she didn't cry. Not when she ran to me, not in the drive to the pizzeria, not when I treated her wounds, though her eyes shone with unshed tears. She didn't cry. But the day before, she burst into tears over a single cut that will barely scar, in a room that showed no sign of struggle, next to a man who died with shock in his unseeing eyes.
Adeline Redgrave, liar. Forced to kill him in that way, up close and personal, I said. Must have been hard for you.
It was, she whispered. I didn't think, I reacted. I think both of us couldn't believe what I'd done. Redgrave took a deep breath. But I had no choice. Angelo Castillo was a beast. He broke in and ordered his men to assault me. He was going to kill all of you. It was kill or be killed. I did what I had to do. She slid her fingers through mine, smiling. It's uncharacteristically nice of you to worry about me, Cash. I'll be okay. I narrowed on our linked hands. The frequency of her touching had increased with no reason she should have started in the first place. The first touch was odd. The second time she sought comfort. The other times were unexplainable. She settled into the blankets, still smiling, content to hang on to me.
Redgrave is clearly convinced I have feelings for her that I'm hiding under 12 layers of brooding Iceman. All she has to do is keep drilling until she finds what she's gotten out of Saint, Brutal, and soon, Mercer.
How she hooked all 3 of them was as confusing as her constant desire to touch me. Her beauty couldn't be denied, neither could her strength, but introducing a wild card into a carefully crafted play is suicide, that nearly delivered exactly what she promised. Our deaths.
I would have died to save you, I thought, and I have no fucking idea why.
I let go of her hand, suddenly annoyed.
No.
Sinjin and the best friend were facing off. Yes, she said. Adeline is staying with me. It's just for a few days.
Doesn't matter if it's for a few minutes. Bunny's coming with us.
Does Bunny get a say in this? Adeline spoke up. Let me remind you four that I know who you really are. You're dangerous gangbanging killers, and it finally caught up to you. Our fingers twitched for our weapons out of reflex. A reason to celebrate, the best friend went on. If it wasn't for Adeline getting caught in the crosshairs, big, scary men are hunting you down and you no longer have a place to live. While you sort that out, Adeline will be with me, where she's safe.
No.
We're not asking your permission, she cried, hands flying to her hips.
You won't ask for forgiveness, either.
Okay, guys, let's take it down. Adeline cut in. Gianna is right. A few days with me out of the way so you can assess the damage is a good move. We don't know if your identities are still protected, or how much Angelo told the Kings. We also don't know how much time we've got until one of them figures out Angelo and the friends he brought with him are all dead. I nodded along unthinkingly. Like her cooking, lack of brains was not one of her faults.
You're not in our way, Mercer said. You're one of us. She's injured.
I backed Sinjin down.
The cut's not bad, but it needs time to heal. She can do that in Leabridge. We can't play nursemaid right now. Cross can.
She started at being addressed directly. What he said. I'll look after my best friend while you guys take care of whatever mess you got her into. Get back to us when it's settled.
End of the week.
I broke into whatever Sinjin was going to say in response.
We'll have the new place by then. I'll make it happen.
Where is it? Adeline asked. Are we still in North Key? Mercer stretched out next to her, throwing his arm around her shoulder.
Nah. Cash hooked us up with a place in Waterford. It comes with a sandwich shop for you. You can convert it into your own little eatery.
Really? Her eyes lit up. You're doing that for me? Thank you, Cash.
No.
My annoyance ratcheted up tenfold.
It's not for you. Cut the shit, Mercer. We don't have money for that. When we have the money, it's all yours, Mercer told her. Least we can do for getting you into our mess.
Redgrave kissed his cheek, beaming from ear to ear. Sinjin and I brought Mercer Santos on for the precise reason he could put a smile like that on anyone's face. If he had gone to the meeting with Angelo, they'd have come out best friends and drove straight to a parlor for matching Thug Buddies tattoos. I knew all of this, brought up his contributions to Sinjin when the mercurial bastard threatened to kill him. And yet right then, I was wondering why the fuck we kept him around.
Do you want that first floor sandwich shop? I asked. Or for us to get you at the end of the week? I seem to recall moving a car filled with your suitcases.
Redgrave's smile disappeared. Things are different now.
How?
Sinjin was going to let her go, back to her shitty apartment and her 30-hour-a-week job running around a steamy kitchen. She was free and clear to return to her old life less than 24 hours ago. Why should she choose the men who kidnapped her and kicked off the events that made her a target of the most dangerous gang in the city?
Probability of an average 23-year-old woman making the same choice? 0.
I wasn't leaving because I wanted to. She pulled Mercer closer. I wonder if she noticed. I thought I was just the cook and maid to you four. To be gotten rid of when I'm no longer useful. Now I know that you guys... Sinjin landed on the bed and dropped his head on her lap.
Now she knows she belongs to us. Bunny will spend the rest of our lives feeding me and catering to my sexual needs. I should have gotten on board with this girlfriend thing years ago.
Redgrave rolled her eyes, but she didn't correct his use of the word girlfriend.
I see.
I made for the door.
If she's leaving with Cross, we're going. We have something in our basement to take care of.
Sinjin got a kiss off her. He leaned in to whisper something that made her duck her head and say, "I love you," back. Rudel was next to kiss her, though he saved the whispered message. Finally, Mercer kissed her knuckles and promised we'd have everything arranged for her soon. I let the guys file past me, jaw tightening as I spared a last look through the closing door. For the man who sees everything, I somehow missed this girl becoming so entrenched in our lives we, would do anything to protect her. Probability we'd regret her not getting into that car and making it out of the parking lot? 100%.
You can listen to the rest of the book in the Tempt Romance audiobooks app, available on the App Store and Google Play. The link to the book is in the description. Discover even more bestsellers and exclusive stories updated weekly, only in Tempt Romance audiobooks.